Hello, YouTube family, once again. This is a continuation. I think we're at episode 3 when I was in Texas. I do apologize that I'm having to do separate videos because my storage on my phone, I don't have enough. And being that I'm new to this, um, that's the problem. So, anyway, you guys, so continuation. I am now in Texas, and I think I left off with we had just got to Texas, and we're at Waffle House because he was hungry before we get to his house. And just to back it up a little bit, I met this man online, and he lived in Texas. I live in Florida. I was already considering going to Texas. My kids are there, so 2 plus 2 makes 4, or 1 plus 1 makes 2. Anyway, stars line up, if you will. Um, So we get at Waffle House, and again, it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm exhausted. I'm more mentally exhausted than I am physically exhausted because my mind is already thinking, "Oh my God, did I make a mistake? Is there things I didn't learn about this man before what I'm saying? Before was there questions I didn't ask?" And so anyway, we get to his house, and as we are pulling into or driving into his community, it is gorgeous. It is more than I would even imagine. It is elaborate. So let's just say he lived pretty well off. Um, Pull up to his house. Um, Huge backyard, front yard. Um, he had a Maserati in the drive. No, sorry, that was inside the garage. He had a Harley motorcycle in the garage. And then he had like his little day to day car, which was like a normal car. You just would not think this man, what I'm saying, had it going on. So then, my mind started shifting, and I'm like, well, maybe and ladies, not that I was looking at material things. I never did ask the man what he had, to be honest with you. So the way I looked at it, wherever I followed him to, that would have been the case because I didn't know nothing. I didn't ask because I wasn't trying to judge man about what he had. But all of a sudden, I was like, "Oh God, I didn't ask for none of this." And I said, "Well, maybe I'm overreacting a little bit. I mean, the man is well off." So he proceeded to help me get out the car, and for something that I did not want to get all my things out the car. Like I got like my little small carry bag that had like my essentials in it. And so um, we get inside, and he was like, "Let me show you around." And wow, I mean, like wow, wow. The master bedroom by itself was, my God, probably big as the living room. The bathroom of the master bedroom was, my God, probably big as the living room. It was just, my eyes was just like, wow, open. And it was a four bedroom, 4 bedroom, 2 full bath, and maybe like it was a half bath. Um, Again, plenty of room. And so, but because, you know, I honestly didn't go into it or as like I need to sleep in the same room with this man or same bed. We just meeting each other. We both agreed that I was gonna sleep in the guest room, and I was happy to do it. So he was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't dare tell that you're just meeting me. Tell you to you got to sleep in the bed with me." And I was like, so I said, "Okay, cool." So I moved into I put my one bag into the guest bedroom, and he took me to the backyard, nice patio. Like the grill itself, like had its own walkway. Like you had to kind of walk out to the grill, and it's like, ooh. So I'm like, "Oh, go, all right, go, sir." At this time, I also decided to invite my daughter over. The daughter over to the house because she knew I was coming, and I was like, this guy that I met, So she was, my daughter's like gang gang type deal. So well, not gang gang. She's a very spiritual young lady. I love her, but she ain't with it. So she comes over, and And the very next day, so mind you, I've only really been in Texas probably less than 24 hours. And then the very next day after, well, it was already in the AM. It was already Saturday morning when we got there, like 2 or 3 o'clock. So now I've rested, and I called my daughter up later Saturday evening, and I'm like, hey, come over here, And I gave her the address, and he was all, yeah, he was good, and he was like, well, since your daughter's coming, let me throw some stuff on the grill for y'all, and he's like, I run to the store and get things, and cool. She comes over, we have a little barbecue, just three of us. He let me and her kind of like sit out on the back porch. He's bringing us drinks, like, and I tell my daughter, I said, I don't know. It's just something, does. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And so she was like, well, Mom, you have to figure it out. And I said, I know, right? And so we both had already decided we were going to my grandson's birthday party next day, which was a surprise visit. He did not even know grandma was in town. And so my daughter had to, I believe she had to like make another run because I did convince her. I said, hey, why don't you spend the night? He got plenty of room here, plenty of room. And so I convinced her, but she had to like run out and come back. So while she's gone, he and I are just conversating. He's like, I'm glad that you're here and all this other great stuff and, whatever. So I'm like, yeah. I remember, I was in his kitchen area, and he like leaned in like for a kiss, and I was like, what are we doing? We ain't there yet. Like, I'm just not there. Like, I just wasn't. Like, I'm still trying to figure out what is this feeling, what is this unsettling feeling. So my mind ain't on kissing and hugging and none of that stuff, like for real. And I wasn't giving them type of vibes. I know it. So anyway, so we're talking, he and I. And my daughter comes back or whatever. And so my daughter's sleeping now. She's gonna sleep in the bedroom, the guest bedroom where I was sleeping, although there was other rooms. And I didn't want to make him seem too. Oh, sorry, you guys. So I did forget to tell you guys. While I'm in the guest room sleeping, he decided to stay on the couch. Like, he didn't go to his bedroom, and I'm cool with that. However, when he was in there on the couch, I could hear some noise going. I'm like, what am I hearing? And at first I just thought it was snoring. So I was like, oh my God, he's a snorer. And but it was a machine. Something we had not discussed. So I'm not judging. So he was on one of them, mask sleep apnea machines, whatever you want to call it. And it was making all these noises. So I said, what the hell? Okay. So we have a breathing apparatus. I think that's how you say it. Apparatus. So, and I'm peeping around the corner into the living room because I can see straight in there from the bedroom. And I said, well, let me just go back to bed. All right. So now I'm moving forward. So I convinced my daughter to stay the next night. And so I'm like, I don't want to sleep in there with her and make her seem too awkward or make him seem too awkward or whatever. And so I convinced myself. I said, well, and since my daughter was in the bedroom, I said, I'm going to come get in the bed with you, but we going to sleep on two separate sides of the bed, because we can know each other. Guess what? He agreed. And he did. And so that was Saturday night. So, yeah, Saturday night. And so I couldn't sleep because he put on that machine. And I'm looking like, what? So I get up Sunday morning, and my son that was stationed at Fort Hood, Texas, get my daughter up, and I was like, hey, listen, let's just go ahead and hit the road. I think we had like a 3-hour drive, 2 or 3 hour drive to get to Fort Hood, and he offered to drive us over. They offered me, and I'm like, no. Me and my daughter, we'll be all right. We're gonna drive. And he was like, well, call me, on your way over there. Call me when you get there, and all this other great stuff. And So this is us talking Saturday morning before I leave. I'm sorry, Sunday morning before we leave to go to Fort Hood. And so we're talking, and he was like, "Cause I want to make sure you're okay." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll be fine." And and he was like, "We got some things to talk about when you get back." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, we'll talk." And he had mentioned something about, putting money to the same account, like having a joint account. If I did get a job, he would drive me to work every day, and I wouldn't have to drive. He'll bring me lunch every day, and um, it was just a lot of boundaries. Oh, he would take me shopping, and I could buy 2 outfits a month, and I was like, and then again, there's a lot of boundaries that he was setting forth that I guess I should be expecting when I got back. So I was like, oh my God, what happens to just me being myself, and like why I got all, and I'm like, the other guy at least let me be myself, but he was just not it. And then this one wants to put boundaries up, and I'm like, oh my God, this is not it either. And I just knew God was in the midst of something. So me and my daughter, we of course we go on with our trip, and we make it. Well, as we're going to, Fort Hood to surprise my son, he's calling, and he's like, you haven't called me, and and I'm like, well, I'm just talking to my daughter. I haven't seen her in a little bit, and we're just chit chatting. I said, but I'll let you know when I make it over there. It's like, okay, well, just let me know as soon as you get there. I will, promise you. And I did. We get there. But glad to see my grandson, and so he is still calling, and I done told you I done made it. Now give me a little minute. Let me enjoy my little grandson and stuff like that. And um, so we enjoy it, and then we leave Sunday evening heading back to his house. And my daughter, I asked her, I said, "Hey, are you gonna?" My hair is getting a little long. I said, "Are you gonna stay? Or are you going home?" She said, "Mom, I'm going home." I said, "Oh God, so you're not gonna be there?" And she said, "Mom, what are you gonna do?" Now at this time, my daughter worked on campus and lived on campus out in Texas. And my son wasn't at home because he was deployed. So it was really my daughter in law and my grandson that I was able to visit with. And then my daughter in law, she was a little sick, a little ill as well. So I'm not the type to be intrusive. Like I'm just not. Like I felt like I didn't want to really not bother my daughter-in-law, although she had my grandson. I didn't want to bother my daughter. Like I just said, I just need to do something. I gotta do something, and I just didn't. Mind you, the ex is in South Carolina now, and he's still blowing me up. I'm just not answering. And I'm listening to his messages. Call me, please call me. Why don't you talk to me? Now he don't know nothing about me in Texas. He thinking I'm in Florida. And he's like, come. I want you to come up here. I want you to come up here. I want you to come up here. So, but me thinking I done met now my other Mr. Right, Mr. Right number two. I'm like, I'm done with that part of my chapter. Like he can just stop calling me. And so as I talked to my daughter, heading back to his place, I'm like, I can't do it. I said, I just can't do it. And she said, well, Mom, let me know what you do. Just, she said, but I'm leaving as soon as I get there because she was like, I just don't want to be there. And I'm like, okay. Now, he had already given me his garage door opener so I can like come and go as I please, put it in my car. So I knew I had that in my car. I knew I had that one bag still in his house. So I'm like, Felicia, come up with a plan quick because you don't want to stay. Like, I just don't want to stay the night there. I don't want to be around him no more. And my master plan, I said, well, I'm going to tell him I'm going back to my daughter-in-law's house because she was feeling ill. I said, but I'm going to let him know I'm going to go stay with her for a few days and then I'll come back. That's my plan. And I said, but I know I got to get him this garage door opener back because I don't want to keep it. Like, I don't want this man thinking I'm whatever. So when I pull up to his house, I take the garage door opener out, put it in my purse, and I let myself in. And and I was like, hey, we need to sit down, we need to talk for a bit. And he was like, okay. And I said, my daughter-in-law, she's a little ill. And again, she was. I said, I'm gonna go. This is the lie. I said, well, I'm gonna go back over there and be with her and my grandson, kind of help her out. And he was like, well, do you want me to drive you back over there? And I'm like, no, 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 no. I said, I'm gonna actually take my stuff and go there for a few days. And I said, because all my essentials is what I brought in the house. And he was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He understood. He understood the assignment. And I was like, So okay, I said, well, I'm gonna go get my bag, and I'm gonna go ahead and head back over there before it gets too late. And so he's like, okay. He's like, well, do you need me to help you get anything? Do I need to buy you anything to take with you? I'm like, no, 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 I'm good. So he was like, okay. He was like, well, I'm gonna, I don't know. He went to do something, and I'm like, all right. So I go in there and prepare my bag real fast, like make sure I don't forget nothing, and I sneak around to the kitchen, and the little area where the toaster is, and something that he probably wouldn't look at maybe till like later on. I'm hoping I put the garage door open over there so he can see it, find it, and okay, time for the escape. So I get my things, put it in my car. He walked me to the car. He's like, "You sure? You sure you don't want me to take you over there?" He said, "It don't matter if you're over there 2 or 3 days, as long as you stay in contact with me and whatever, and let me know what you're doing." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I said, "But don't worry. I said, I'm gonna call you on the way over there. Call you when I get there, and you're gonna know everything." So of course he's like, "All right, okay, okay." And so I get in my car, I leave, and I probably get like a mile down the road from his house, and I pull over next to the road, and I call the ex. I say, "Hey ex, you still want me to come to South Carolina?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've been asking you to do it." I said, "Wait, before I get to South Carolina, we ain't with no nothing. You ain't seeing nobody, you ain't talking to nobody, you ain't doing none of that." "No, I'm not doing nothing. I've been begging you to come." "Yes, you have been begging me to come." And I said, "I'm telling you, I ain't with it." I said, "I'm gonna just drive all night, and I should be in South Carolina by the next morning, well, close to the next morning." And he was like, "You sure you want to drive? You don't want to?" Ask, "No, no, no, I'm going to drive all night." I said, "I'm good." Now, mind y'all, I done been up now all day. I done been up since that morning, Sunday morning. And now I'm about to drive all Sunday night until Monday morning. Talking about desperate. Yes, that should tell you something. So he gives me the green light, and I'm like, "I'm on my way." And I said, "Give me the address and my program." So at this time, he's at a hotel. He's living in a hotel because he hasn't found a place just yet. He's been in South Carolina now. I don't know. I think about a month at this point. Month and a half, is still at a hotel, but mind his business. And I so I do. I drive. Oh, so as I'm leaving, I'm getting ready to leave out of Texas. Of course, so and so is calling me, and I'm not answering. I was like, "Oh my god, I probably just need to block him because I know what it is. I know he's probably called to check on me, and I'm not at my son's place." And I said, "I'm just gonna block him." So, but before I get a chance to block him, he sends me a text, and the text went something like, "He's been played, or he's been fooled, or something like that," because I'm not answering my phone and stuff like that, which I wasn't. And I'm like, wow. So I didn't look back. I'm heading to South Carolina now. And so this is where, okay, South Carolina, we're now at episode 4. Yeah, episode 4. New state, new drama, same type of love. So I make it to South Carolina Monday morning, probably about, now we're probably in around about, I don't know, 9 or 10 o'clock, because I had to stop in traffic in Atlanta. I had to go through Georgia, and it was just terrible. And I'm already like, "Lord, I know what you're saying, but I'm going to just get me there. I'll rest when I get there." I don't even know what I'm walking into other than promises again. So I do. I get there, I get to the hotel. He was outside of the hotel, happy to see me pull up, because now I think it had been in maybe 2 months, something going on like that. So we had not seen each other for a little bit, and he was super excited to see me, and I was not super excited to see him. I was just like, "Man, I just need to sleep." So he was like, "Well, do you want to go get something?" "No, how about you go get something to eat, and I'm gonna go in the hotel, and I'm gonna get." I was sleepy. And I'm like, "Go get us some chicken wings or something like that." So he does. He leaves, and I, go into the hotel room, and decent hotel, because the company that relocated him, put him up in a hotel. So that was good. And so by the time he got back with food, I was knocked out. When you hear me, I mean, like the pillow that I was laying my head on was wet. Like it was like coming out of both sides. Like I was like, "Lord, thank you, Jesus, I could sleep." So anyway, uh you know, now the ex that's now back in my life, he's super happy. He's like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. I got approved for this trailer, another trailer. I should have known, y'all. The first trailer when we first met in 2019, and now we in another trailer in 2020, 2023, early 2023, I think. So now I'm in another trailer. Yeah, he'd already got it, got approved for. He just had not moved into it yet. So I was like, okay. So he was like, well, let me take you over there to see it. So we do. We go over there. We look at the trailer. Matter of fact, he upgraded. This trailer was better than what he had. Loved it. Loved it. I really did. I liked it. And so, we move into the trailer. He's already working up there. I need to find a job. And so, I start looking. And so I do. I found a job. And that's one thing about God. Oh my God, I got to throw this out there. God takes care of you. Like, I've never gone too long without God answering me for a job that would take care of me. Like, it may even meant less money, which I'm gonna get to the last episode, y'all. You guys will hear that. But he always took care of me. Like, he covered me. He was always with me. Even I was making dumb decisions. Even though I was believing the lies, God was like, I'm covering you. I'm covering you, knowing what you're doing. Okay? So I'm trying not to get emotional because I know. I know what he was doing. The entire time, y'all. I know. I know. So we move into the trailer together. Like I said, I get a job, and a month into it, lo and behold, same drama. You have been talking to somebody since you haven't seen me. You just didn't want me to know about it. And it is somebody you work with. You just didn't want me to know about it. And it was a younger female, like back in 2019. You just didn't want me to know about it. So you ask, how did I know? How you find out? Well, hold on. So I'm at his trailer, and we are okay. We are doing things. We're okay. We furnished the trailer. I get a job, whatever. But the drinking was crazy, y'all. Like, for somebody that don't drink beer and don't drink, you are really like a a whale. Like, you just pour it in and it just keeps going to the bottom. Like, oh my God, you really drink. But then of course you say you drink because you've been wanting me back, you was losing me. I mean, you just going through it. And that's another thing. He always had a story. Ladies, they always have this backward AWS story. Like, you'll be like, and it ain't real. However, you just choose to be like, for the name of for the name of love, God, Jesus, as my sister would say, Lord Jesus. Um, okay. But as we're there, like I said, we getting a few arguments because, like I said, he's lying about some stuff. He's lying about drinking, and you know, a second phone, like back in 2019, it surfaces, and so it's like, I know you didn't. I didn't even have to come up, and you've been begging like you always do, and then you with the. I say, I'm not staying in this trailer. I'm getting my own place. And I did. I I started looking for me an apartment without telling him. And so I do find me an apartment, and I move out while he's at work. And so basically he comes back. I'm not there. I got all my stuff. I had a coworker help me move. Okay. And which I didn't have much but clothing. So I moved into an empty apartment, no furniture, no nothing. I remember sleeping on the floor the very first night in that apartment. I was just that, like, I'm ready. Again, Lord, I'm ready. Like, I'm just tired. Like, when a man just keep putting you through nonsense, foolishness for no reason, you just get tired. You just get exhausted and so draining. Like, why? Why do it to me? There's some hoes out there you can do this with. That's the thing. You want to play with the hoes in the streets, but then you want a lady around you, something that looks good, while she's standing next to you. But it's okay, in the darkness when ain't nobody looking, to be with hoes. You don't care if they married. It's coming, y'all. So I do move into my own apartment. I don't tell him. He's calling me. He's leaving messages. Hey, where you at? Oh, you low down. You this, and the other. You did this to me, and blah 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 blah. Okay. So I'm like, whatever. So I refuse to tell him where I live, and I do. I refuse to tell him where I live. I don't want you to know. I don't want you popping up at my place. So he's still calling and calling and calling and calling. I won't even say he made me came out my job looking, trying to see where I'm at. But I made it my business to go different ways every day. I went to work different ways every way. When I went to work and leaving work, it don't matter. I just didn't want to take no chances. So after I don't know a few weeks of him begging, maybe a month, he says, just please come by here, come by my house and just let's talk. I said, James, God dang it. Anyway, his name is James. I said, I don't want to come because I know it's going to be some mess. Oh, it's not going to be no mess. It's not going to be no, I said, knowing you done had somebody over there, some little hole, I ain't had nobody over here. I wouldn't dare bring nobody over here. Knowing that you lived here with me, I said, now I'm telling you, I'm not with it. I said, I'm just not. I don't even. Why would you always think negative of me? You always think negative of me, just like that with his baby, right? I go over there, I go over there, and it was kind of later in the evening, and he done cooked, because I like to eat, so he done cooked, and it's getting later into the night, and so I don't know. It's just something about when I'm around him. He's so catering. He's so accommodating. Ladies, when I say this man will wait on me hand and feet. I mean, like I think I saw something on YouTube not too long ago where it says, they love bomb you. Well, honey, this particular man will love bomb you. He ain't giving you nothing real. It's just, giving you all this extra stuff that make you, distract you, And he's good for that. He ain't good for nothing else, but he's good for that. So I was inclined. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna stay the night instead of driving back to my place, and I'll just get up in the morning, because I work late shift, like night shift, and so I'll get up in the morning and go home. So as I decided to accept the fact I'm just gonna spend the night with this man, and this man wants to be intimate, God, the devil shows up, and then God, but God was already there. Devil, there's a knock at it. He has a back door that we were using to go in and out of. And there was a knock at the door. And I'm looking at him. He's looking at me, and I'm like, who is that? He's like, I don't know. Well, Egro, this is your house. As far as I know, I'm the only one that's been in here. As far as I know, there ain't been no company here. And who is at your door? Like, make it make sense. He goes to the door. And there was a female out there with a bonnet on, and y'all, I'm not the one to talk about people. But if you're gonna hold off, at least hold up. Make sure whoever you holding with is decent. Make sure it's somebody you would take home to your mom or your daddy. Don't hold down, and even the dog won't even look at you. Like, for real. That's about all I'm gonna say about that one. And I'm like, what is this on the other side of this door? And she's yapping like a little chihuahua. Open this door. You got another woman, whatever. And I can hear it. So I decided, let me get up and go to the door too. And I'm looking at him, like, who is this on the other side of this door? And he's like, go back and lay down. No, I'm a Leo. We're not going to go back and lay down. We're going to see this thing through. Who is this? So she hears me. Oh, my name is blah, blah, blah. Me and him work together. Oh, I see why he ain't answering his door. I see why he ain't answering his phone that I bought him. Oh, we got another phone? Oh, I want my phone back. And she just carrying on, y'all carrying on. She was like, give me my bag. And I'm looking like, what bag is she talking about? Why this nigga Egro she done stayed there but her bag was on the other side of the trailer, a room that he has, but that I never like. I basically lived on one side of his trailer when I was there. I never did go back on the other end. So it was a bathroom on that end, a bathroom on the other end. So because he says, well, let him have that end, okay. Hey, that's your business. Whatever you do on your end, my end. So I never had a reason to go on his end, if that makes sense, y'all. And he kind of walks off from me and goes toward the back to go get the bag. So she's still yapping in the door, and I'm like, what are the chances if I unlock this door, she comes in here and something happens? I don't know. We're just going to open the door. I open the door right here in the back. Come on in. She comes in, and who are you? I said, oh, I'm the girl. I said, you could say girlfriend, not girlfriend. I don't know. I said, I've been dealing with him for 4 years. And she was like, oh, well, I was just over here, and he was just having sex with me, and I'm going, oh my God. And so by this time he's coming from the back, he was like, hey, get your bag and leave. Guys, oh, no, let's hear what she got to say. Let's hear. And she was like, oh, so you messing with her, and and then she was like, oh, so how long y'all been knowing each other? So I said, again, going on 4 years, on and off. And so she was like, oh, so you played me, and she's talking to him now. You played me, and you this and you that. And she was like, that's why my husband flattened your tires on your car. Your husband flattened his tires on his. So now she's in his face, y'all. She is blowing up. The next minute, because this is all going down in the kitchen, and I'm like astonished. I'm standing back like, what? This is Days of Our Lives type stuff, baby. I'm here to see it. I'm here for the show. I just didn't have no popcorn. So before I knew it, old girl hauled off and slapped his teeth, like hit the side of his face, and you can hear his teeth chatter. So I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So he's like, get out of here. You need to leave. And now you want to be bad. Now you want to be all gangster. So she's like, I'm leaving. I don't give a blah, 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 blah. So eventually, after she runs her mouth and slamming the doors, and she leaves. I don't know what to do. It ain't like I came over there to rekindle, but however, I'm like, what is you got going on in your life, man? Like, why is it always these type women bringing this type drama? And I'm like on the tail end of it. I'm finding out after you done did all your hoeing. Oh, it ain't even like that. I've been asking you to come be with me. You don't want to be with me. You don't answer your phone. Da, 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 da. I said, but I asked you straight up, Igro, are you talk to somebody? Have you talked to somebody? Are you dealing with anybody? Are you having sex with anybody? You always gonna say no. But I know. I swear I be knowing. So I'm just mad because I feel like I should have never came. I'm not mad with him per se, but I'm just mad at the fact that I allowed myself to come back over here. But it's BS. I really did. So while we're talking, trying to get some stuff straight, there's a knock at the door again. She's back. Y'all, she's back. She's back and she's demanding her phone that she bought him. Well, he doesn't open the door and I don't open the door because I don't know if she's coming back now to shoot me, shoot him. I don't know. So I don't have enough. So I'm just kind of like, go be quiet. So he tells her through the door, I threw that phone away. And she's like, oh, you going to pay me for my phone? You going to pay me for my phone? He was like, look, I'll give you money for that phone, but, get away from my door. Don't come back. So she leaves. And now I'm asking questions about the phone. Oh, he threw it. There's a railroad track that was the back of that, that goes back of his trailer back there. And he's like, I threw it over the railroad track. And I said, well, you can always go over there and find it. I ain't stunned about that girl. I ain't thinking about that girl. When you said you was coming over here, or the fact that I knew I still loved you, I don't care about that girl and what's in that. Well, what was in that phone is what you didn't want me to know about, the communication. Okay. I ain't done. So y'all, while me and him talking now about the phone, third knock at the door. Yeah, she back again. She's back now because she want him to come outside type stuff, And so I said, James, look, now I don't know why she back for a third time. And I did say his name, James. You might want to call the police because I feel like it might be a love triangle. I ain't even part of the triangle. Like I ain't got nothing to do with this at this point. I really ain't. I ain't really had nothing to do with it from the beginning. And I said, call the police because if something go down, look. And he does. He called the police while she's standing at the door out there talking and running her mouth. And she was like, "Call the police. I'll be here when they get here. Call the police. You messed with the wrong one and all this other good stuff. I'm gonna call the police." Well, he calls the police and they said, "Okay, they'll be there in a few minutes." Well, at some point she walks off and she gets in her car and she leaves. She leaves before the police get there. So the police do get there, and he's out there telling them what's happening, and I'm standing there right there with him. I'm like, "Yeah, I can verify she did this, and other, whatever." And I said, it was like, "So who is she? Just a girl?" I said, "It's some woman he slept with, and I'm the girlfriend that I've been dealing with him." And he's sitting there looking at me like I'm crazy. Yeah, bro, I'm gonna tell them the truth. I'm about to tell them the truth, okay? And so the police was like, well, since she's not here, whatever, whatever, whatever. And, he gave them her name and what she was driving and all the other good stuff. And so, we don't hear nothing else from her. And at this point, I'm like, I'm going home. I tell him, I'm going home. After the police leave, I'm going home. I done had enough. I done had enough. I got to go to work. I done had enough. I tell him, you ain't got to worry about bothering me no more. I'm done. And so I leave and I go home. And of course he's calling me. Of course he's blowing me up. Of course he's apologetic. Of course he's saying he'll find him another job. I'll leave this trailer behind. I'll find another place, Felicia. I'll do this and I'll do that. I promise you ain't even got to worry about that girl no more and this and the other. And y'all. And he sends me an email because I'm blocking him every time he calls me from a different number. I'm blocking him. He sends me an email. He done got another job. He done find him another house in South Carolina, which he did. He did all this stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, something's really wrong with him. Like, you ain't fixing your behavior or who you are as a man. You just keep changing your drawers. Like, because you got to do it every day. That's all you're doing. You're changing your underwear. You ain't fixing it. Okay. So I decided, once again, enough is enough. I'm going to move back to Alabama, and I'm not going to tell this Igro where I'm going again, and I'm just going to leave. I'm going to break my lease, and I'm going to get up out of here, okay? I'm going to get up out of here. I'm going to get out of South Carolina. I mean, like, I'm just done. And at this time, I was missing my family a little bit. I had not lived around my family back in Alabama since 2015. So here it is now, 2023, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go home. I know I can always go home to my mom, my dad. I always knew I could go home to my family, but something, not that I had pride, but I'm like, I'm going home. I can't take this no more. And I'm at work telling my coworker about, hey girl, I'm gonna break my lease. I'm getting up out of here. Y'all, God shows up. Old girl says, well, hey, I'm looking for an apartment and I'll just take over your apartment. Are you for real? And at this time, I have 5 months left into my lease. I'm like, oh my, are you serious? And she said, yeah. She said, I'll just take it over. She said, I'll cash up you the rent. I'll cash up you, the price. She said, you can leave everything in your name. And y'all know I had to trust the Lord in this because I'm leaving now my apartment in the hands of somebody I just met in South Carolina. My coworker, we cool and all, but I gotta have nothing but faith. But at the same time, I want to go, and God is like giving me a way out again. And y'all, I do. I come home to visit, and I come home to visit, and I tell my mom and dad, hey, listen, I'm coming back home. I'm ready to come home, but I'm really not telling them what's going on. I'm just ready to come back. But while I'm down there visiting my parents, I decided to go to the police department because my background is law. There y'all go. Background is law enforcement. You would think no fool won't play with me. Whatever. I go to the police department asking if they have any openings. And at the time, they had a position in the jail. And being that I worked in a jail already, I talked to the police chief while I'm in town. I mean, this is my hometown. And I tell him, well, hey, listen, give me a chance. He's like, you know what? When can you start? And I'm like, I can start in 2 weeks. And he was like, let's do this. And I was like, And this is before I go back to South Carolina. I said, God, ain't no way. Now, this is where you take a loss. My hometown, Troy, Alabama, it doesn't have much is growing, but pay scale wise, they probably down about $20 than what I'm used to. Okay. $15 what I'm used to. And so I'm thinking to myself, this is okay. I'm living with my parents. I'll take this cut and pay, a huge loss in pay. And you know what? I'm just gonna start over. Like humble myself, ground zero if you call it. Starting all the way back over like when I first had a job. So anyway, I I accept the job. I do everything while I'm at home for the week, drug testing, everything. Like I really ain't got nothing to worry about. I really don't. And so I go back to South Carolina and tell my coworker that's gonna take my apartment, hey, it's a go. And I'm putting my 2 weeks notice at my current job, and I tell her, hey, you can move in, I'll give you the keys, whatever, whatever, whatever. And I do all that. Pack my car up. My last day of work in South Carolina was like on a Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I'm starting my new job and back home. And so I'm up out of there like that Saturday morning, up early, get up early, thanking God for giving me a chance. I'm not even talking to so and so and so. And so, James. And but the pettiness in me, I am on my way to home, probably like halfway there. I sent him a video call, like I already recorded myself, like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm no longer in South Carolina, and where I'm going, you can't go. It ends with us. We're done. And I said, you can lose my number. I said some other non-Christian like stuff, but we don't judge. So I I send it, and I'm on my merry way. So I go on, and of course, moving with my mom and dad, and everything's going good. I got my job, my car, whatever. Ladies, when you say no, you need to mean no. When you thank God for delivering you, you need to mean it. When you thank God for that way out, you need to mean it. And I really thought I meant it. Like, you don't keep putting yourself, Felicia, through all these different things and not want to get out of it. Like, right? You don't want to keep introducing your soul and your heart to heartbreak, disappointment, foolishness, uh, childness, just not take care of the heart type stuff. Like, you don't want to keep introducing yourself because you're just gonna keep letting yourself down, keep getting disappointed. Like, at some point you can't even blame the man no more. You got to blame yourself, right? Mind you, James is still blowing me up. Email, different phone numbers, whatever you want to call it, because he don't know where I'm at. He has no idea. Uh, Somehow, now James knows my family. He's been around my family. He's been around extended family. He's been around some friends. He's been around a lot of people, and he did have phone numbers in his phone, like from my family. Like 4 years was enough time to get to know my family and be around them, and then maybe okay with you having numbers, because James was honestly a family man. He would fit right in. Like, he's the type to show up at the barbecue and just start grilling. Or, things that my mom and dad need done around the house when we would go visit. He was doing them. Like, he was really, truly my dad's sidekick. My mom absolutely loved him. Like, for real, y'all. I'm not kidding y'all. I'm not kidding y'all. Um, Everybody took a good liking to him. I'm taking this man to church with me, like, for real. But it was like he had two different lives he was living. Like, he was these personalities, this just bipolarness, if I want to call it that. And so he starts tugging on my heart that I abandoned him. I left him, and I could have said something. This and the other. And he was like, after he waited for me in South Carolina, and now I abandoned him type stuff. And I'm like, and he says, I find out that, you back home. And I'm like, I don't need me lying about, yeah, I'm back home. Why? And he says, well, because I want to move to Troy. I want to move to where you from. And I'm like, Egro, this is around my folks, my family. Like, I'm living in my hometown now, someplace I haven't lived since I left my parents' house. Like, for real, this is too close for comfort, right? And so he's like, I promise you on everything that I love, I'll give up everything for you again, and I'll do this, I'll do that, whatever. So I'm like, look, If you come here and we have any inkling of you acting a fool, foolish, whatever, I said, if God give me the strength, it is truly over because then I'm gonna feel humiliated because now you're around my folks. You too close. Now I'm already living with my parents, so I'm like, but where you gonna live if you do come? So I didn't give him no answer right then when we were discussing it. And I told him, I said, let me think about it. Let me think about it. And so I did think about it. And my soul wasn't even real settled with it. And I thought about it, and that night I said, like we would talk on the phone, but not much. And so that night, as I was laying there, I said, well, let me call this man and just say, well, look, I'm gonna give you a chance, but blah 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 blah. So y'all, the night that I was gonna call him, he don't answer, and he don't answer, and he don't answer, and he don't answer. I said, see, this is that whole book that I'm talking about. Y'all fill in the blank. Stuff I've dealt with him in the past. Calling him, ladies, you call him, he don't answer. You call him, he don't answer. You call him, he don't answer. Then so conveniently they want to call you back. Oh, my phone was on vibrate. Oh, my phone was on silent. Oh, my phone was in the bedroom. Or my phone. It was always this with James. His phone is is the devil itself. Besides him, like they were glued to the hip. If he wasn't lying, then the phone was lying. So hey, and so after he didn't answer, I sent him a message. I had decided to allow you back in my life. I have now decided I don't want you in my life. I don't want you around my family. I don't want you to come here. I don't want you to do nothing. I said, so please don't come here. Now he knew where my parents lived at, like I said, been there before. And I meant what I said because you didn't answer the phone and I'm not with that whole stuff. Okay. So the next morning when I wake up, I tell my mom, I said, look, I had talked to James. I said, look, I don't want, and I could talk to myself. I had told her I had been talking to him, but not like getting my together. I said, but look, I don't want him in my life no more. I'm done. I'm good. I'm moving on. And then I tell her, I sent him a message. I don't want nothing to do with you. Do not come around me or my family, which I did. And I meant it. Now, that morning that I wake up to tell my mom that it's the same day of my birthday, which was August 1st of last year. And it's funny because that's the first day of my job in now the police department. So, I call my friend, my best friend. I told her while I'm at work now, um, hey, listen, it's my birthday, and do you want to go out to dinner? And she said, yeah, cool, we ain't doing that. So we do go out to dinner, we had a great time. And let me back up a minute. Now, 3 or 4 days prior to this, 3 days prior to this, the car that I've had now for 2 years that has been fine. Um, you gotta know when God is on you. You gotta know it. During this time when I'm talking to James, that now that I'm back in Alabama, my car decides to start acting a little funny. And then 3, 4 days before my birthday, I'm at work. So that wasn't I'm at work. This is my initial first day. I'm at work and I get ready to leave work before my birthday now. My car don't start. And I'm like, oh my God, my car don't start. And I'm thinking like a battery or whatever. Call my dad, come look at my car. I don't know what's going on. And it don't start. And I had not told James don't come yet either. So needless to say, y'all, my car was a dead car. My Jag that I've had now for 2 years, just surprisingly wouldn't start. And it didn't start and never started. And if the truth be told, I had to let my car go. And my mom had an extra car, so I had a way to work now. So now I'm moving forward on August 1st, on my birthday, whatever, going out. I'm driving my mom's car, whatever. And while I'm at the restaurant with my friend, my mom texts me and she says, because at this time now I have told James, do not come. I'm good. I don't want to see you. And my mom texts me. She was like, James is here. And I'm like, what? And it's like nighttime, like, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock at night, something like that. And I said, what? I said, but I sent that man a message. I told him, don't come nowhere around me. I'm good. And I guess in my heart, I I really, really wanted to mean it. So I tell my mom, I said, well, look, I'll be there in a few minutes. Okay. And so I do, I get to the house and he's there. I tell him to come outside so we can talk, have a Jesus moment, a come to Jesus moment. While we outside, well, before we go outside, my mom is like, hey, don't. I said, Mom, I'm just gonna talk to him. And so we outside, and y'all, I give him the business. That mouth right here, baby, it was not pretty, and I'm not the one, I'm not shy on words. So he was everything but a child of God becoming. However, he's like, I drove all this way, that. I said, yeah, but you got my message though. And he's like, yeah, I know that, but I want to be with you. And I'm like, okay, well, you got my message. And so I said, you know what, it's late. I'm tired. I'm mentally tired. So I was like, and where you gonna stay at? And he's like, I don't know. I guess I have to find a hotel. I said, I don't know what you're gonna do. So we go back inside the house. I read him his rights. And my mom was like, hey, look, let him sleep on the couch, and y'all figure this out in the morning. Okay. And he does. He stays there. And we get up the next morning, and he's all like, I want to do everything I can. And he says, I want to find us a place to stay. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. And I'm like, but yet again, me having privacy again, because I'm such a person to be by myself, and I know I had to move in with my parents. I'm like, so I actually stayed with my parents for 1 week before he got there. And when he mentioned something about finding a place, I was like, you know what, this will give me, a place now. I don't have to be in front of my mom and dad. Whatever. I love my mom and dad, but I, kind of still want my own place. I just wasn't ready yet. Like I was gonna wait and save some money and then get my own place. So, he speeded up the process. So he did. He finds an apartment. We move in my hometown, and he gets a job. Like that's one thing about him. He'll get a job. He got a job in my hometown, whatever. And because I'm from this place, I give this man warnings. I say to this man, now listen, this is my hometown. There's a lot of mess in your hometown, which I steer away from. I steer away from. And there are people I really don't fool with, talk to on a regular basis because, like I said, it's your hometown, and people just messy. And I'm more on the private side, And I'm telling him, don't do it. Troy is a very small place. Everybody know everybody, so don't go here and doing no crazy dumb stuff because this really truly could get all the way back around way faster than a place that you don't know people. Okay. You would think I was talking to a child. We in this apartment 1 month and we already get into it. You already making friends. I come home from work from the police department. All these egros are out in front of the apartment. Like everybody you done met, you done at work, and I'm like, what are we doing? And he was like, hey, look, they just came by because we playing like a game board, like how you bet on the game, whatever. And I'm like, you can do this at work? Like, why are you bringing people to where we live? Like, I'm not the type to have people in my sanctuary, my home. Even when I'm like now, where I'm at now, only family has been here. Okay, family, not family. So I'm mad, and I go inside the apartment, of course. And so he comes in, and again, another thing he told me before he came. Well, when we're talking, he was like, I done gave up alcohol, I done gave up all this stuff, I done changed my life. But when you come inside the apartment after you've been out there talking to your friend, you come in there with a liquor bottle. I thought you said you gave up all this stuff. Well, what's wrong with a beer? There ain't nothing wrong with it, but you said you gave it up. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just gonna have ain't one beer ain't gonna hurt nobody. So, ladies, once again, when a man shows you himself, believe it. Now, one thing I did not say, over these 4 years, this man has asked for me to marry him. So I know a lot of people would say, well, how did you stay with him that long? And because I honestly would not have been with somebody this long, and marriage not was part of our conversation. It was. He has proposed to me, and I have a couple of times took the ring, and I gave it back. Like, he knows I wants to be married. He knows I want to be remarried, but I ain't just gonna settle for no anything just to say I got a husband. No. So Needless to say, now that we're in this apartment together now in my hometown, I don't want it. So I tell this man in his face, I will never marry you. I tell this man in your face, I regret you came here. And at this time, the very following week, after I'm having this conversation with him, I need to go to the police academy, and I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. Well, it'll be 1 week, 4 days, come home for the weekend, and go back for the last 4 days. And he's fully aware of it. Now, is my heart like about to fall out because now I'm going to be out of town for 2 weeks? Is anything going to pop off while I'm gone? I mean, like I know that spirit of discernment, y'all. I have it. I just kind of just pushed it over here. Like, God, hold on to it. I'll get back to it in a minute. So he knows I'm going to the academy. He drops me off at the police station because I got to leave with others and we got to drive 2 hours, 2 hours to my destination. And so since that day has come, and I leave on a Sunday, which means I start class on that Monday. And so I asked him before I leave, I said, hey, are you going to my parents' house? Which, and like I said, because he have a relationship with my parents, I just knew, maybe you were going to go, visit them, be with them, whatever, while I'm gone. And since I left that Sunday morning, I'm like, what are you going to do for the rest of the day? And he's like, oh, well, I'm going to just go back to the apartment. He said, I got to get up and go to work the next morning. He said, I'm just going to chill. And I'm like, cool. So I leave, on our way to our destination, halfway into the trip. He calls me like, where you at? Where you at now? So I'm about an hour away. And he's like, okay, well, good. Call me when you get there. I said, okay, no problem. Still, I don't know. I'm thinking you at the apartment. Okay. Second time you call me and you say, where's my tablet? So what I didn't tell y'all was when I was packing my bag, I took his tablet. Something in me said, take that tablet. Because you're always signed on to your tablet. Like he had a tablet and I had a tablet. So you're always signed on your tablet, which means I have no reason to get your tablet because I got my own because you bought it for me. So he called me and said, where's my tablet? I said, I don't know. Look around the apartment. I don't know. And I said, I'm going to call you when I make it to my destination, okay? And he's like, all right. So when I do get to my destination, he calls me, but he's at my parents' house with some cousins and my sisters, and they're like joyriding, like the little side by sides and stuff, whatever. And my cousin's on the phone because he heard about my car is messed up. And he calls and my cousin's like, hey, cuz, you need this for your car. And I'm like, yeah. I said, but okay. And I'm like, how? And he's calling from James' phone. So I'm like, that don't make sense. So when James get the phone back, I said, where you at? And he's like, I'll call you back. I'm like, damn, man, that is strange. So you at my parents' house, you at my cousin? I don't know. Y'all, I don't know. I'm trying to get settled in. Me and the girls, because I rode up there with 2 other girls, and we need to get something to eat before we, get to our rooms. And so we decide to go out to eat. And I said, I'll just call him after I'm done. I'll call James after I'm done. And so when we get to eating, I get back to my room, I'll call him. He don't answer, y'all. I call him again. He don't answer, y'all. I called my mom since now I know he was somewhere around. And I said, Mom, y'all seen James? She said, yeah, he was here. He left about 20 minutes ago, said he was going back. And but I forgot to tell y'all was, before I left, I also put the 360 app, how you can, it's like a 360 circle app where you can kind of like, keep track of your family members and stuff like that. And I had put that on his phone and on my phone. So basically, we keep up with each other. I'm going to my destination where I don't know nobody. I got it on his phone. So, basically. So I try to do the 360 app while I'm at my destination at my hotel room. It don't work. Let me pull this tablet out and let's just see. Because I know he's still signed on. And so, he has emails that are generating while I'm pulling up the phone. Like, it's just going off. Like, it's like sending him notifications. So one email was like $300 withdrawal in Atlanta, Georgia. And this is at 11 p.m. that Sunday night. Now, mind you, I got to be in class Monday morning, fresh, alert, because I'm starting the academy, the police academy. And I see that. So I'm like, wow, whoa, Atlanta, Georgia? I said, he's in Atlanta, Georgia? And so, I'm still trying to call him. He ain't answering. So now we're like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to fall asleep and I'm waking up and I'm like, let me try to call him again. No answer. So now I'm seeing emails where you're searching for hotels in South Carolina. So now you done made it from Georgia. Now you're back in South Carolina from where we just left from. And so it's just blowing my mind. So I'm screenshotting what I'm seeing. Like, therefore you don't come back and say, no, this ain't it. So all that morning, all up until that morning, no answer. And I'm calling. So I'm mad and I'm trying to now get my heart right because I said I fell for it again. So I'm hurt, but you can't tell I'm hurt. Y'all, ladies, men, it take a strong person to show up the next day and not look broken. It takes a strong person to put on that armor of God and say, just give me strength, Lord, because I got 4 days to make it through this academy before I go home again. And my feeling is he's gone. And he's gone. And I don't know he's gone. Or I'm not supposed to know he's gone. So while I'm in class Monday morning, I'm paying attention, introductions are going on, and I still gotta hold it together. He's calling me. I said, let me step outside and answer this call. Because I haven't blocked him yet, because I kind of want to hear what foolishness you got to tell me. I go outside. What's up? Like I'm all about it. Oh, I didn't answer the phone last night because I took a job in South Carolina and you wasn't gonna understand and da 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 da. And he even sent me a little screenshot of the job he took up there with Lockheed Martin and all this other good stuff. And I said, so when were you gonna tell me all this? And I said, in your emails, you were looking for an apartment in South Carolina. You done withdrew money. I said, you had all the time in the world before you get there to say, hey, listen, I'm done. I don't want this no more. And I would have been like, okay. I said, but how you did this while I'm at the academy? And I said, I got to try to make it through the academy and graduate with all this on my mind and my heart now. Oh, just call me when you get out, and I apologize and all this other. And y'all, I hung up with him, didn't talk to him no more. And this is my first week at the academy on Thursday. We go home on a Thursday and return on a Sunday. And I walk into my apartment, y'all. All his stuff is gone. Now, this is when it really hits. It hits, and it hits hard. He packed everything. All his belongings gone. We just got this apartment. Well, he just got it. And thank God he got it on a monthly basis. Because I'm like, wow. He left the key to the apartment and everything. I'm like, how do I tell my folks? How do I even try to hide the hurt? How do I go forward, Lord? How do I even return back to the academy for my second week? Y'all, I remember laying in that bed and thinking, it's over. I'm sad, I'm hurt. And I know, and this man was supposed to pick me up when I returned, that week. No. So I gathered myself together. I asked God to give me strength because I got to go back now. I'm not a quitter. And being that I know that God didn't give up on me, I couldn't give up on myself. I pulled myself together, ladies. I mean, you guys can't even imagine the hurt. But I pulled myself together. I went back for that second week. And this is episode 5. this is the last chapter. I went back. I graduated from the academy with my head held high. I came back from the academy with my certificate. I get back to that apartment because now I know I need to move out of it. It was a month-to-month basis, so we had just made 1 month, and I'm getting ready to go into the second month, like September. And I'm like, I need to go to this office and tell these people we will be moving out of this apartment. And I do. I go and I tell them that, and I'm like, he's gone. And they were understanding. I didn't have to give them a whole lot of details, but they were understanding. So I had called my daddy. Hey, daddy, look, can you come help me get this stuff out of this apartment? Because, we had bought stuff to go in the apartment. He was like, yeah. Y'all, move out the apartment. Move back in with my parents because I'm like, but God is good. And I say God is good because God then decided, being that you let the devil whip you even worse than he's ever whipped you before, I'm going to show you a little grace and mercy. Because this time you're going to learn. Oh, this time you learned. Y'all, in the midst of me now moving back to my parents' house, this Igro is now emailing me because he can't call me. Oh, you done moved back to Birmingham. You are in the left South Carolina. Now you're back in Birmingham where your folks at. Back up there with them hoes at. Back where the drama began. And you feel so bad for leaving me. You want to come back. You want to be with me. You made a mistake. Y'all, the lies was coming. And I'm saying to myself, the devil is a lie. Because not only did God say, I think you tired of getting whipped, aren't you? He restored me with a new car. He restored me with a new job. He restored me with more money. He restored me and given me a place to stay. He restored me and he put money in my account. He restored my faith, y'all. I want to cry, but I done cried enough. And not crying because I want him. Now, don't y'all get that twisted. Not crying because, oh my God. No. I'm crying because there's light at the end of the tunnel. God takes care of his children. God takes care of his chosen ones. He does. God will make your enemy your footstool. Y'all, God is good. I'm doing good. And how is he doing, y'all? I don't know. It's been 6 months. Do I still get communication from him by emails that every time I delete one or block one, he create another one? Yeah. Oh, the emails is still like, oh, I love you, I miss you, I want to be with you. You don't even know where I live. You don't know where I work. 6 months. And you're never going to know. Ever, ever, ever again. And y'all, I am in my lonely season right now. I prefer to be lonely. Like, I prefer to be by myself at this point. But not because, oh, I've been through so much. That's because I need to know me. I need to get to know who it is that God loves so much that he gave his only begotten son. Now, come on. Like, all this foolishness that I put myself through that I didn't have to, and I knew better. Ladies. And I've been waiting to give my testimony because at first I was like, well, maybe I give my testimony once I meet that God chosen husband. But baby, I don't need to wait to then. Whether it happens or not, my story need to be told Women, we got to love ourselves more than we love the lies, more than we love how good he looks, how good it looks on the outside, or how good he looks on the outside. We gotta love more than what he has in front of us. We gotta love God more than anything. And to know now, I should have always put God first. Then I would not have made myself last. Like I kept pushing myself backwards. Like I never even really saw any goodness coming. Like I felt like I felt myself. I felt myself. Like there was some embarrassment, some humiliation that came with this last trial and tribulations, y'all, that I brought on myself. I brought it all on myself. I really did. So I am going through this isolation. I'm going through this transition. And I'm going through this with the strength of God. Because I'm healing, y'all. I don't care to see this man ever again. I don't care to talk to this man ever again. Again, y'all, it's been 6 months. My repeated foolish behavior would have had him back within a couple weeks. I don't want him. I don't want nothing that he has. I don't want absolutely nothing. He can't even offer me enough money, which guess what, y'all? In the email, he has offered money. And the devil will be like, tempt you, like, girl, he's offering you $1,200. You know, hey, I just send you this money. You can keep it, give it to them hoes. Am I right? You're calling my family, you calling my mom, you calling my dad, you calling my uncle, like you're calling people trying to get them to say, take you back. No, Negro, we are not taking you back this time because we're doing so much better. We have peace in our life now. We don't have the drama. We don't have all these hoes showing up. We don't have all this baby mama drama. We don't, like I said, y'all, this is like the worst man I've ever, 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 ever dealt with. Like, he's not even a wolf in sheep clothing. Like, he's just a wolf. Like, just, God is good though. I hope you guys have learned something from my experience, from my testimony, from my story. I hope there's something you guys can take away from it. I hope that it blesses my ladies out there. Or hey, it can bless you men too, because you know what? Men go through the same things that some of these hoes trying to put them through. Like it don't make sense. It just doesn't. So, and I don't mean like hoes in a bad way, but you know. I just wanted to leave this and hopefully to encourage someone. Because I've always been told, hey girl, you need to write a book, but you know, it may come. Um, I don't know what's going to come of this. I have no idea. I'm not bitter about anything. If anything, I'll make it known now when I meet men. Like, oh my God, like the devil, you know, he'll put something in your face, and you're like, I'm good. I'm good. And I've been saying I'm good now for 6 months. I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Can we? No. Thank you. Thank you. I'm good with my nose now. Like I'm extremely good. Extremely good. Okay. So I just want to leave you guys, you know, with the love that I have to share my story. As hard as it was to put it out there, um, it's been tugging on me. Tell your story. And my daughter has been another one. Mama, you better put this out there. Let somebody know what you got going on. And I did. So I hope this message blesses someone. Uh, I really do. I was looking through my notes because I had written something. Oh yeah, Jesus was in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights. 40 days, y'all. 40 nights. He was tempted by the devil. All the lies that the devil has was coming at even Jesus. So who am I? If he's tempted 40 days, who am I? Right? So let's make a covenant with God. Let's make a covenant that we can rebuke the enemy, the devil, in the name of Jesus. Let's make a covenant that no one before him. Let's make that covenant that we're going to always pray. We're going to always ask God for that wisdom, that knowledge, and that understanding to do his will. I may not be able to quote scriptures like verbatim. I'm not a scripture quoter. However, I do know little things like Jeremiah 29:11. I know that God gives me plans for a future and hope and all this other great stuff. He has these things for me. John 14:14. Anything you ask in my name, God. I know enough to get me in the gate. At least get me in the gate. But however, God knows my heart. God knows I seek him, and I do seek him. And I'm just not going to let nothing stop me from seeking him. The doors that God is opening or has opening, y'all, it's only more to come. This year, 2024, I had a conversation with my daughter not too long ago. This is the year of the awakening, reckoning, whatever you want to call it. This is the year. This month of May, supernatural blessings. I want whatever God has for me. So I pray and I pray and I pray and I pray. I pray that God covers me. I pray that God covers you. I pray that God allows you to see in this video that I shared my most vulnerable moments with you guys. And I'm a strong woman now, don't get it wrong. But I shared it with you guys for a reason. I am nothing without God. And that's what I was constantly reminded of. I was nothing. Like nothing. Without God. And I don't care how good it looked. I still was nothing. I wasn't happy. I wasn't. 4 years of dealing with this same foolishness. I was not happy. I remember times of being in bed with this man and rolling over and looking at him. And there are times when I told my mom this. There were times when I would look at him, and I'm like, you are just one lost man. You just lost, and I'm sitting in the bed next to you. Like I'm not lost, but you lost, and I'm and it's you gotta laugh to keep from crying sometimes. So the strong is not for the weak. Okay, the strong is not for the weak. I'm glad I went through what I went through because it pushed me closer to God. It pushed me to not want to deal with things that wasn't of God. I love who I am. I love what I am, and I'm not going to do anything else to sacrifice or jeopardize who I am in God. I am a chosen one, and I say that confidently. I am a chosen one. I really am. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this message. This is probably like my third video. The very first one I recorded on my phone, and it only let me record maybe however many minutes. And then the second one, I tried the second one, and then I lost storage because I don't have no storage on my phone. So then I had to get my tablet out and record the very last of the video. So I hope you guys are able to look at each video. And again, I hope it blesses you guys. And so again, remember the very first thing I said in the first video was, the title of this was, Every Time I Chose His Lies Over God. Every time I chose his lies, man lies over God, destruction happened. So now I choose God. I thank you guys, and you guys have a blessed day.